Hey guys, ShinigamiNG here, and today we're going to take a quick look at the RSI Constellation Aquila. At least that's how I pronounce it. So here's kind of a neat little exterior shot here of it, and trying to figure out a good way. I'm not very good with the advanced camera controls, and I'm a little bit rusty, but the Constellation Aquila is a fairly large ship, especially it was one of the earliest large ships that I'm aware of that's in the game. But it's got this really cool kind of elongated body, these four big like thruster pod things back here, depending on the variant of the Constellation, because you can get the Taurus is the cheaper variant, which it has just some cargo space. Let's go ahead and switch out of that third person view, because that is really hard for me to control, because again, I don't really know what I'm doing. But these big 4 engine pods back here, 2 on each side, really look cool in flight. Let's go ahead and get rid of those those mission requests. So there's a couple of different ways to get into the Constellation. First off, let's see, can I zoom in? There's a couple of airlocks on each side. I think there's one on top as well. We'll check that once we get inside. But there's one on that side, there's one on this side, and now I'm not going to be going into too many of like the technical details of these ships, because unfortunately that changes over time. The basic idea of the ship usually stays the same, but the ship may launch with different equipment, different power plants, different guns, different turrets, may even be redesigned before the game actually launches. But basically I'm just going to go over the look and feel of some of these ships, because that's what I really think is important, and getting the idea of it. So the Constellation Aquila is a exploration type ship, and you've got this cool little elevator here in the front area, takes you up into the underbelly of the ship. And is that not just an awesome feeling when you come up that elevator, the door opens and bam, you're in the cockpit? Well, entering into the cockpit area, there's this whole front area. Let me go ahead and power up the ship just so that we have some lights in here for the rest of the exploration of here. All right, so this is what you would normally see if you were entering the ship. Is it not on top anymore? It's down here, isn't it? It is down here. So let's go ahead and power on. Ooh, there we go. Ship is powering up. Let's go ahead and exit out of the seat here. So you've got a pretty good view. There are a lot of struts. I know some people really don't like the struts, but you've got a pretty good view up here in the front. And you can have a pilot, a co-pilot, and I think an engineer. And I may have mixed up. This may be the co-pilot, that may be the engineer. But basically you can have 3 people up here sitting in this front cockpit controlling different weapon controls and stuff. There's some of these panels here on the side. Like, looks like there's going to be some life support here. I think this will be like a kitchen, like a kitchenette area maybe, or maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one. But I know there is a version of the Constellation that does have like a kitchen area up here, and that might be the smaller Taurus or Andromeda, or actually the Andromeda might be the bigger one. But there's a few different versions of the Constellation, and there's like the Emerald version. There is a turret down below. There's a turret up above, so you can have 5 players seated up here in the front, plus more in the back. This door is just going to keep opening and closing over and over and over. Ooh, actually, maybe this is what I was thinking of, because, you know, you can have this kind of table seating area. I don't know if you can do anything over here yet on this section, but I think you can also open in here. I think this is a shower, maybe shower and bathroom. Definitely a shower for sure. There's some really nice things in here. There's some beds there, beds on this side. So you can have 4 people sleeping in here. That's not too bad. I think these are lockers. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't just get shot or hit by something. But so 5 lockers, but only 4 beds. That's kind of odd. Some weapon racks right here so you can store some weapons. Let's go ahead and open this back door here. So this leads into the back section of the ship, which down here is where you will keep all your cargo. So if you're wanting to do some cargo with this ship, I think it carries 96 cargo capacity. Don't quote me on that. I probably should have looked that up before the video, so I do apologize. But I think it carries a little bit more cargo than like the Cutlass Black, which I think is 60 something. Man, I should have looked a lot of this stuff up. I do apologize. I thought I was going to remember more of this beforehand. So yeah, here are the side airlocks that you can open up and everything. So that's pretty neat that you can just open that up and bam, we're in space. Let's go ahead and close that back up. Seal that up. I don't know if any of these panels on the side are activatable or anything yet. Let's see. Can we lower? Yes. So we can also lower this cargo bay down, because instead of just running cargo back here, you can load in some of the rovers, like the Ursa rover, the Cyclone, TR, things like that. Like there's quite a few different vehicles, especially the land vehicles that you can fit back here. Dragonflies, all that good stuff. And then again, the airlock on the other side as well. So 2 airlocks, neato, and we're still at Port Olisar. But it looks like, yeah, this is going to be like shield generator stuff back here. So engineers and stuff will be able to fix stuff. Gravity gen. Not sure what this one's going to be over here, but basically these components can get damaged and we will need to fix them as time goes on. Now, if you notice, there's one more section here in the back. Let's go ahead and take a peek back here. This is one of the coolest things. I mean, obviously there's more power plant, gravity gen, all that good stuff back here that can be fixed. But the Andromeda, or I'm sorry, the Aquila version of the Constellation that we're in right now has a P-52 Merlin back here in the back. And so let's go ahead and enter into it. I think it's bugged, so I may get stuck here because you cannot actually exit. Like, you can't launch this ship yet. Can I even power it on? No. So, I mean, I clicked power on, but nothing actually happened. But eventually, we will be able to... Can I get back out? Oh, I can. Sweet. Okay. I was worried that it wasn't actually going to let me out, but it did. So that's good. But yes, you cannot actually undock that yet. We're still waiting on that to be a feature, but this variant does come with that. And are those missiles? Goodness. We have a few missiles. That's kind of nice. But yeah, so here we go. Quick look at the Constellation Aquila. I do not actually own this ship. I'm not sure why it's in my ship selection. Let's go ahead and mount the top turret here just so you can get a feel for how that looks. Now these turrets are kind of cool because they're like on this sliding rack thing. I like that. I like that feel right there. So this is the kind of ship that I really enjoy. Like, I like the multiple containers. Let's go ahead and power this on. Ooh, that's neat. I don't know if I like the view out of this turret very well. Like, it's not bad, but like that MFD in the front really takes up a big chunk of my screen. But and my hands are not attached to the turret controls. Look at that, my hand's just out here in the middle. My hand's still spinning. That's so weird. It's like I'm on a different rotation speed than the rest of the turret. That's funny. Oh well. So anyways, yes, the Constellation is one of those ships that I think is pretty cool because I really like the multiple compartments. I like having the living quarters and everything in the ship. I like having multi-crew ships. To me, are just really cool. Being able to move around, walk around in here. You could live in this ship in space for a while, which I think is pretty nifty. It's definitely not a requirement or anything, but I like the fact that this ship is designed around that, and I also like that kind of hideaway table. That's neat. I like that. So anyways, that is all for the Constellation Aquila. Just figured I'd go through fairly quickly, go through all the rooms, just to give you an idea again of how it looks. Because to me, and this isn't for everyone, some people really want to know the statistics of like, oh, it has a power generator size 3, and don't quote me on that because that's probably not what it actually has. I'm just making stuff up at this point. But I don't mind what the statistics of the ship are. It doesn't really matter to me. It matters more the feel, like how the ship looks, feels, and that maybe that's a little bit more on the role-playing side of things. I don't know, but like It's one of the same reasons I like the Cutlass. I really like the look of the ship. I like the feel of the ship whenever I'm inside of it, whenever I'm doing missions and stuff. It's such a versatile ship, and so is the Constellation here. This ship is much more expensive. If I recall, the Constellation Aquila is right at $310. Ooh, I really should be looking this stuff up. So if I am incorrect on that pricing, I am sorry. But again, and I should always put this disclaimer, you do not have to spend more than the starter package. You can buy into the game for the standard $45 starter package, get a Mustang Alpha or the Aurora. I was like, what is that other ship called? You do not have to spend more than that to play this game, to get into this game. All of these ships, other than a handful of very select like skinned ships or just like special edition variants, all of these will be available in-game with in-game currency. In fact, you can even buy some of them currently at some of the different ship vendors in-game. It will take a while to earn the credits needed, especially with one of the starter ships, but it is definitely doable. It is, and there's even going to be a rent-to-own option, which is really nice, that you don't necessarily have to outright buy a ship. You can rent it for low amounts, so you could get into a larger ship fairly early on in game. Let's go ahead and take the elevator back out because I love this elevator. But yes, there are multiple ways to get different ships. You are not going to be stuck with a starter ship for very long. That is such a beautiful ship. I really, really like the Constellation Aquila. But yes, so disclaimer, you do not have to spend any more money than the standard package to get more ships in game. We're in alpha right now. We're in early alpha still. There's still a lot of things that aren't working. There's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of things that still break and go wrong. Your ship explodes randomly sometimes. Sometimes you'll get hit by one bullet and your ship explodes. Sometimes your ship is indestructible. I mean, there's random things that go wrong. But again, it's an alpha. It looks beautiful, and a lot of the gameplay is really fun. But it is just an alpha, and not a beta. Not a beta. This is an alpha, early alpha. So tons and tons of bugs. Actual launch of the game is probably several years out still. That's fine by me. I'm okay with it because I still have a lot of fun just playing around. But yes, you do not have to spend more money. I am not trying to talk you into spending more money. But if you absolutely want to, if you want to help support the game and you want to spend more than just a starter package, by all means, find a cool ship that you like. Like I picked out the Cutlass. I love the Cutlass. I spent a little bit more money on the Cutlass. I think it was $110, so I had to upgrade my starter ship up to the Cutlass to get it. But I love it. I love that ship. But yeah, Constellation Aquila, there we go. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Sorry I've rambled. Sorry I've kind of ran around on this video a bit because honestly, it's been a little while since I've been making videos, so I'm very rusty, and this week was an interesting one at work. I was doing 12-hour days every day this week, so I have not had a whole lot of extra sleep or time to work on things, but I really want to get back into making videos, guys. So I'm trying my best to hop back in. So again, sorry for rambling. Sorry that this is a mess of a video here. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I will see you guys next time. Shinigami out.